Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, please say yes in the chat, just so that I know that things are okay. Hello. Oh, all right. Khalil says yes. Excellent. All right. So hello, everyone. Good morning, good evening, and good night to all you amazing people out there. There's a ton of people in the chat today, which is fantastic. I love this. Very, very cool. All right, so who do we have? Let's see. We have Khalil, we have Hamid, we have Judith. Welcome back, Judith, Patricia, August. We have got, who else do we have? Jacqueline. So all my tribe from my channel are here. Thank you very much for showing up, you guys, and a lot of new people that I have not seen before, which is great. Rosa C made it, which is great, and Rosa, the other Rosa Carey, I haven't seen you in a long time. Thank you for being here. Lizzie, there's Asli, there's William, there's Juan, there's Jesus, Sarah, Kat, Isabella, Agnes, there's Ibtisam. There are so many of you today. So hello and welcome to everybody. Thank you so much for coming to spend this hour with me. Today is Wednesday. It's the 11th of October 2017. Lots of people are still coming in. Home, Mohammed from Algeria. Hey Mohammed, nice of you to join us. Thank you very much. There's Jose. There is Nurana. Karim. Oh, hey Karim. Karim is saying hello, Chemo. So Chemo is a very common nickname for people whose name is Karim, right? So yeah. No. Whoa. My computer says it wants to restart. Hold on. No, don't restart. Windows keeps wanting to restart whenever it wants to restart. So no, not today, please. Or not now. At least not now. Okay, there we go. Okay, I think everything's okay now. All right. Ooh, imagine the computer restarted at the beginning of the stream. Nicola, Juan, yeah. So lots of people in the chat today. Awesome. Thank you so much. Julian is screaming, saying, "Say no." I did. Don't worry. Right? We're fine. Everything is okay. Adriano, hey Adriano, very nice to meet you. Pablo and Paolo, I think I saw your name in there too. Very nice to see all of you guys. Thank you so much for coming to my class today. And yeah, I'm happy to be here as usual. I love this my 1 hour every Wednesday on Smrt Live. It's really cool. Sarah, hi, first time meeting you. Hi Sarah, very nice to meet you too. Okay, so let's before we start, let's just get a few things out of the way here. So for the people who are just joining me for the first time, my name is Karim. I've been a teacher here at Canadian College of English Language for about 6 years now, almost 6 years. So I've been using Smrt for the last 6 years every day, and yeah, I also teach at Canadian College a few courses here. So yeah, that's me. I also I have a few things that I want to say first before I start the channel today. Let me just put the main display here on. Okay, and there we go. Roberto, hey Roberto, first time here. Thank you very much. Welcome to the class. It's great to see you. All right, so if you guys notice, today I am actually streaming. So not from my my channel on YouTube. So my channel is Smrt English with Karim, right? But I just want to explain very quickly why I'm streaming from here today. So a lot of people, I think, have been confused after Smrt sort of divided some channels for us teachers, and some of you were not able to find my new lessons, right, or the new streams. So I'm going to be back here on the original Smrt channel, which is this channel, right, the one that you're watching on right now. So I think I might be here for a while, right? So I might do the next, I don't know, maybe next month or maybe a month and a half or 2 months. We'll see how it goes, right? Just to make sure that people know where I am and where they can find me and all that sort of stuff. So remember, my channel, right? My channel is Smrt English with Karim, right? This is where you want to see the old things that you missed if you did not see them. So please go and subscribe to my channel over there, right? So we have 285 subscribers now. Thank you so much. And the amazing Sean has 432 subscribers with no videos. Is that not amazing? That's just, it blows my mind. I'm very not jealous, as you guys as you guys can see. All right. So if you guys notice, Mark is back. So woohoo! I'm sure you guys are losing your minds because Mark is back. Everybody's been asking for Mark for such a long time. And yeah, Mark is back, so expect Mark, you guys. So just follow the Smrt English page, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you guys know when all the new classes are back. And actually, if you guys notice down here, you can see all the upcoming streams. And if you also notice, Sean is coming back, right? So Sean should be back, I think next Friday, right? Or this Friday. And yeah, so yeah, it should be next Friday. I think Sean's class is coming. Mark is coming. And of course, you guys all met Kent last week. So make sure you guys subscribe and set your reminders at the bottom here so you know when we are going to be streaming classes, right? So that's it, right? So just for the next few weeks or sometime, I'm going to be on Smrt English. But you guys still should go and subscribe to my channel, right? Which is Smrt English with Karim, right? You can always, of course, always hit me up, or you can find me on the Facebook, which is also Karim Smrt Live. My Instagram is also Karim Smrt Live, and my Twitter account is also Karim Smrt Live. And for those of you who don't know, I also have I have another channel on YouTube, and it's this one right here, right? It's called Food AF. So this is not an English channel. This is my personal channel. This is where if you guys like food, or if you like to eat food, like the rest of us, you can go and check me out over here, right? So it's a cooking show, right? So basically, I cook some stuff. It's not really English, but you can practice listening, which is fantastic, right? So so that's so that is pretty much it. Has Mark returned to Vancouver? Paolo's asking if Mark has returned to Vancouver. Honestly, Paolo, I don't know that he left. I didn't know that he left. I thought he was here. Everybody's excited about everybody's back Friday. Sean is coming back. Mark is back. Everybody's super excited, which is great. That's awesome, right? That's why we're back. We know you guys really wanted this, so we hope you guys are happy, and we're trying our best. Okay, so let's get down to it. So today, guys, we're going to be doing a grammar lesson. And today we're going to be talking about the past simple and the past continuous. So if you, again, if you guys are not, oh, Julian's saying Mark is not in Vancouver. He is close to Vancouver, and he will be streaming. Oh, okay. I knew that Mark was going to be streaming from his house, but I did not know that he was close to Vancouver. So yeah, so there you go. So today we're doing past simple and past continuous, and same as the last time, it's a bit of a long lesson, right? So past simple, past continuous, I don't think we're going to be able to do both of them today, so I'll probably divide it or split it up. So we'll do the past simple today, and if we probably next week we'll do the past continuous. Chefre, I hope I'm saying that correctly. Chefre saying recipes are a good way to learn English. Yes, recipes are a fantastic way to learn English, and you should go check out my my recipes. And subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. Very, very important. So yeah, so this is what we're doing today, right? So so let's get to it. I think almost everybody that is coming is already here now. The chat is pretty full. So let's start. So before we start, as usual, you guys, I'm going to do the movie quote of the week. So last week, this was the movie quote that we had. You can see it on the screen right now. And actually, I was a bit surprised last week because only I think Patricia was the only one who answered this question. But anyway, this was the quote. So the quote is, "Yeah, well, you know, that's just like your opinion, man." And if you guys don't know, this is from the amazing, amazing movie, which is called The Big Lebowski, right? So The Big Lebowski is, I know I say this a lot, right? I say that this is one of my favorite movies a lot, but that is because I have a lot of favorite movies, right? So this is the movie. It's called The Big Lebowski, and that's where last week's quote was from, right? So this quote, yeah, well, you know, that's just like your opinion, man. And it's a fantastic movie. You guys should check it out and stick to the end of today's lesson, and I will tell you, or I'm going to give you, the new movie quote of the week this week. All right, so let's stop wasting time and let's start with our lesson today. So past simple and past continuous, right? Past simple and past continuous. Here we go, right? So I'm going to ignore the example for now, right? Just because I want to get to the actual lesson, right? So let's just take a look. So as usual, we're going to start with our form. So past simple, right? Remember, we're starting with the past simple now, right? Not the continuous, right? So the past simple. So positive, very simple. I, right? And then walk. And if you notice, we're highlighting the ed at the end, right? So I, you start with your subject, and then you put your verb after it. And then, of course, to make it in the past, usually we add ed, right? So I walked. I did not, in the negative sense, same thing. You're going to start with your subject, and then you're going to make it into a negative sentence, right? But you need the auxiliary verb did, and then not, or didn't, and then walk, right? So notice in the negative sentence, the past, right? For the verb doesn't really change. The verb stays the way that it is, but we say I did not, right? So the past is given to the did part of the sentence, right? So I walked. The negative would be I did not walk. For questions, you start with your auxiliary verb, right? So did I walk? Which I think most of you get this pretty well. I'm just going to read a couple of more, and please notice the way that I'm going to pronounce the ed, right? Because we are going to talk also about this a little bit later, right? But just for now, when I pronounce these words here in the positive side, please try to concentrate on the pronunciation of the ed sound, right? So I walked, right? I walked. You played, right? So walked, played. And it's the same thing. You did not play. Did you play? He cooked, right? So I walked, played, cooked, right? He did not cook, or he didn't cook. Did he cook? She listened. She did not listen. Did she listen, right? All of them are exactly the same, right? You start with your subject, right? And then you add your verb in the positive. In the negative, you start again with the subject. You put did, right, and the not to make it negative. And then the verb doesn't change in the negative because we put the past part of it in did, right? So you can think of it that way. And the questions, as usual, we start with the auxiliary verb. And then same thing, right? If you notice, the verb did not change because, again, it's did in the past, right? So that's why we don't change the verbs in the negative and in the question form. I hope that is clear, right? And I hope that you guys heard a difference when I was pronouncing these words, right? So one more time. I walked, you played, he cooked, she listened, it rained, we ate, and they drank, right? And they drank. Okay. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about spelling, right? So some of these spelling rules, I'm expecting that most of you are going to know these, but I'm going to go through them, right? Because some people out there don't know the rules, right? So I'm just going to go the rules briefly, and we will carry on. Agnes is asking how to recognize when the ed ending is pronounced ed, d, or t. That's a very good question, Agnes, and that's why I said please listen to how I pronounce them, because I'm going to explain later. How do you know, right? So don't worry, I'll explain that. Don't worry about it. Who's Mark? JB is asking who's Mark. Mark is Mark is the legend. of Smrt, JB. If Mark is a teacher that used to work here at CCEL, and he was a big part of Smrt in the beginning. And yeah, he's a very cool teacher, really cool guy. And yeah, I think if you watch his classes, you'll really like them. Yeah, Mark's great. Everybody loves Mark. Which yeah, just watch his lessons. You'll know who's Mark when you see his videos, right? He's also the face usually that you see in a lot of Smrt lessons. I don't know if there's one in here. There isn't a no, there isn't a video with Mark's face in this lesson. No, but usually sometimes when I'm scrolling through the lessons, you'll see a video with a man's face on it, and that usually is Mark. So yeah. Oh, you're welcome, Agnes. No problem whatsoever. Muaz is saying hi. I am just coming now. Hello, Muaz. Nice of you to join us. Don't worry, you did not miss too much. And Pharmabites. Hello, Pharmabites. Welcome to the class. All right, so let's carry on, right? We're going to be talking about the spelling rules of regular verbs, right? Notice that we said regular verbs, right? So not irregular verbs. Sorry, excuse me. Lara Christine. Oh, Lara, hi. Lara used to be a student here in my class here. I haven't seen her in a long time. Very nice to see you, Lara. Thanks for coming. Cool, so cool. Okay, so let's carry on. So the spelling of regular verbs. So rule number one, the verb. This is the rule that most people know, right? So if you have regular verbs, right, usually we just add an ed, right? So open becomes opened, play becomes played, and start becomes started, right? Started. Not sure. Somebody's asking a question that I'm not understanding very well, but yeah, we'll get back to that. Okay, now the second rule of regular verbs, which I think also a lot of you know this, if a verb ends in e, right? So for the first example, we said open. There's no e at the end, right? It's an n. There's no e at the end of play. There is no e at the end of start, right? So we add ed. But lots of verbs have an e at the end already, right? So the word receive, right? To receive, or use, or retire. All of these verbs they already have an e, right? In the spelling of the verb normally has an e at the end. So there's no reason to add another e, right? So in these kinds of verbs, you just add the d, right? And then it looks like you added an ed. So so receive, because it has an e already at the end, right? We're only going to add d, right? So any verb that has an e at the end, we add d. All right, so carrying on. Spelling of regular verbs, rule number 3. And I'm sure, again, most of you will probably know this rule. So verbs that have a y at the end of it, right? We change the y, right? So imagine that the y is going to transform, right? Like Transformers or something. So we're gonna change the y into an IED, right? So think of it this way, right? You're going to change the y into an IED, or if it's easier for you, think that you are deleting the y, right? You're going to delete or erase or take out the y, and you are going to put instead of it, or you're going to replace it, or you're going to put IED, right, in the place of the letter Y. So now notice something here. It says change Y to IED if a verb ends in a consonant plus Y, right? And this is a very important rule, right? So you need to have a consonant before the Y for this rule to be okay, right? So let's see if that's true. So the word try, right? So T-R-Y. R is a consonant, right? So all of us know by now, or you should know by now, that consonants are basically all the letters in the alphabet that are not vowels, right? So we have 5 vowels, A, E, I, O, and U. Everything else is a consonant, right? So T-R-Y. So the R is a consonant here, and it's before the Y, so then it's okay, right? I can change the Y to I-E-D, and then it becomes tried, T-R-I-E-D. Marry, same thing. It doesn't matter that there's 2 consonants before the Y, right? But there's still a consonant before the Y. So marry, M-A-R-R-Y, right? So, all right, so there's a consonant before the Y. So that means the rule is okay to use, right? So I can delete the Y or I can transform the Y into an I-E-D. Copy is the same thing, right? So C-O-P, the P is your consonant, right? It's not a vowel. It's not A, E, I, or U, right? It's a consonant. So copy, C-O-P-Y, that means, again, the rule is going to be okay to use, right? So I can delete the Y and I can change it to I-E-D, right? So far, all we said was normal verbs, you add ed. If the verb ends in an E already, then I don't need ed, just D, that's enough. If the verb has a Y at the end, but the very important part is there must be a consonant before the Y, right? If there is a consonant before the Y, then I can change the Y to I-E-D. All right, let's carry on. Rule number 4. Double the consonant and add ed if the verb ends with one stressed vowel and a consonant, right? One stressed vowel and a consonant. So what is a stressed vowel? What do we mean when I say a stressed vowel? Patricia is asking how to pronounce copied, like that. Copied, copied. August is saying, I think that you should say, I am just coming now. I would say, I just came now, right? I just arrived to class. I just came. Oh man, you guys are funny. Oh, I was talking about what is a stressed vowel, and I think Shifri said, I am a stressed student right now. That's a good sentence, but I don't want you to be stressed, Shifri, right? That's why we are here, right? So hopefully to take the stress of learning English away and to make it much easier for you guys. All right, so what is a stressed vowel? A stressed vowel. So stress, in English, the word stress is basically when we try to make something appear more than other things, right, around it, right? So when you are trying to highlight, when you are trying to focus, right, the attention on a specific thing, right? We call this stressing something, right, or highlighting it, or focusing it. So let's see, right? So I'm gonna say the words, and hopefully you guys can see what the stressed vowel sound means. So prefer, prefer, prefer. If you notice, there's two E's here, right? There's a P-R-E and then F and then another E. But when I say the word prefer, right? If you notice the first part, I say it very, very flat, right? Like it's all the same sound, pr. And then suddenly I put a stress on the last part of the word, right? So prefer, right? That sound, which makes you say the word like prefer, right? So for example, if I did not stress, right, which is very unusual for this word, but I'll try to do it. If I don't stress anything at all, it will sound something like prefer, 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 right? You know, like everything is just sort of the same level that you're saying. But that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying prefer, right? Prefer. I'm stressing on the part of the word. So this is what we mean by a stressed vowel, right? So what is the rule again? The rule is saying double the consonant and add an ed if the verb ends with one stressed vowel and a consonant. So let's see, right? Peak of the tone, that can be a way to try to make people understand what the stress part of the word is. Yep, that's correct, Shifre. Very good. Yeah, that's one way that you can describe, or to emphasize. Rosa is saying to emphasize. Hamid says your cap is cool. I'll buy. Thank you, Hamid. I'm glad you like my cap. I'm a cap addict, right? I'm always wearing a cap. Yeah, I really like caps for some reason. But thank you. All right, so here we go. So prefer, right? So consonant at the end, yes. Is there a vowel before it? Yes. Is the vowel stressed? Prefer. Yes, it is. So because all these things happened, right? It ends with a consonant and there's a stressed vowel before it. We are going to double the last consonant. Double just means write it twice, right? So double, right, means twice as much. So the R becomes 2 R's, and then you add the E and the D, right? So it becomes preferred, right? Prefer and preferred. Stop, right? Same thing. Stop. I'm going up suddenly, right? Stop, right? So I'm stressing on the up part of the word. So stop becomes stopped, right? So because there's a consonant at the end, which is the P in this example, and before it there's a stressed O, so we double the consonant. Double, right? That means you write it twice, so the P becomes PP, 2 P's, and an ED at the end. Judith says addictions hurt, but not wearing hats. No. So that's a good addiction that I that I have, because it doesn't hurt. Okay. So I hope that was clear, right? I hope everybody understood what I meant by a stressed vowel, right? Now, the opposite. If the vowel is not stressed, right? If it's not stressed, or there is more than one vowel, do not double the consonant, right? So a word like open, right? Open. We don't say open, right? I don't stress the E. I don't say open, right? It's open, right? It's all flat. It's sort of all the same stress, right? On everything, open. So because the E is not stressed, then there's no need to double the N. Then you can just add ED, right? That's it. Just add ED. Now, the other rule is if there are 2, right? So if you have a consonant at the end, but before it, you don't have just one, you have 2 vowels, then there's no need, again, to double the consonant, and it becomes E and a D. And that's it, right? So need becomes needed. Rosa is saying this rule is a little more difficult, for we have to pay attention to the sound. I agree with you, Rosa, if you think about it that way, but honestly, that's not how most people use it, right? So I'm just explaining the rules because the rules exist, but a lot of these words are just common, right? So you just, after, the more you use them, the more you see them, right? And a lot of them are common words, right? So the more you read these words, the more you see them, you will just know, right? Eventually, you will just know which words you double, which words you don't double, and all this sort of stuff. I understand that it's annoying to sort of remember all these rules in your head, especially rules that are related to sound, but it's good to know the rule, right? In case one day, maybe, I don't know, maybe there's nobody to help you and you want to figure out, right, how to pronounce the word or something, or how to write it, sorry. But yeah, most of the time, really, it's just practice, right? The more you use it, you're not gonna really be sitting remembering, oh, is this a stressed vowel or not a stressed vowel? You're probably just going to get used to the word, right, and just write it straight away. But because the rules exist, I have to tell them to you. All right, so before we start on the uses, right, I am just going to very, very quickly do a very quick revision, right? So one more time, the past simple. Remember, we're talking about the past simple. So I walked, right? I didn't walk. Did I walk, right? So we talked about this before, right? You start with your subject, you add the verb and ed. In the negative, I, and then did is in the past, right? I did not, and then the verb is normal, right? So the verb stays normal. Think of it as you took the past from the verb and you put it in the did, right? So the verb becomes normal again. But the meaning is still in the past, right? So I did not walk. And the questions, you start with the auxiliary verb and then the subject and the verb, right? So did I walk? Did you play? Did he cook? For example. The spelling rules that we talked about, the most basic rule, right? The normal one, the verb plus ed, you just add an ed at the end. So open becomes opened, play becomes played, start becomes started. Spelling of regular verbs, rule number 2, you just add an e, or sorry, you add a d, just a d, right? If there is already an e at the end of your verb. Rule number 3 is the y transforms, or the y changes, or you can delete the y, and instead of the y, you add ied. But remember, you must have a consonant before the y, right? So try, right? ry, py, right? It's always a consonant before the y, right? And then you change it to an ied. The last rule is we talked about is the stressed vowel sounds, right? So if the last part of the word is a consonant and before that consonant you have a stressed vowel, like I said, prefer, stop, right? Then you double the consonant and then you add again your ed, right? If the vowel is not stressed, then there's no need to double the consonant and then you just add your ed. Okay. Let's, everybody's okay in the chat. Yeah, everybody looks okay. All right. Now let's start talking about the uses, right? So let's carry on. So we use the past simple. When do we use the past simple? So we use the past simple to describe finished, and the word finished is the most important word in the description, right? Or the definition of the meaning. So we use the past simple to describe finished past events. These events can be short, or they can be long, or even they can be repeated, right? So it doesn't really matter how long you did something. That's not the focus, right? That's not the main part of the sentence. The main part is it's finished. It's not happening anymore. It's done, right? It's over. So for example, I saw him 4 days ago, right? So I saw him 4 days ago. So 4 days ago, the action of me seeing him, right, is finished because it was 4 days, right? So it's finished. So I saw him 4 days ago. I came to this country last year. I came to this country last year. Same thing again, the action, the verb of came, right, of coming to the country, that's not happening anymore. It's finished. It was 1 year ago, right? So I came to this country last year. Garima is saying things like already over, yes. Pablo, oh, hi Pablo. Pablo saying, I've watched all the videos of Mark and today's my first day watching you and I am... Thank you, Pablo. I appreciate that. Pablo's saying that he thinks that I'm going to be a legend too. Thank you very much. A legend. Mark is the legend. Even for me, I think Mark is a legend here too. I used to enjoy watching his stuff very much. All right, he played a lot of soccer when he was a child. He played a lot of soccer when he was a child, right? So again, not anymore, right? It's a finished action in the past. Him playing soccer when he's a child, first of all, he's not a child anymore, right? And you might also guess from this sentence that probably maybe he didn't play soccer. He doesn't play soccer anymore, or he does. This part is not clear, right? It's not really clear if he's playing soccer today as a grown-up, as an adult or not. But because I said when he was a child and this part of his life is finished, then I can say he played a lot of soccer when he was a child, right? She smoked for 10 years. She smoked for 10 years. So somebody is asking somebody's asking about repetition. So this is an example of repetition in the past, right? So smoking was not something that you did only one time, right? So 10 years, you probably, if you are a smoker, that means probably you are doing it every day, right? So for 10 years, she smoked for 10 years. It's over. It's not happening anymore. The 10 years are finished, right? And you should understand that she doesn't really smoke anymore, right? But she smoked for 10 years, but it's over, right? It's not happening anymore. I slept for only 5 hours last night. So last night, I'm not asleep now, right? Because I'm telling you that I slept for how long, right? For 5 hours. So that's over, right? So again, finished actions in the past, right? So just remember that part of the explanation because that is basically the important part. It's finished, right? That means not happening anymore. It's a finished past event. Patricia, she used to smoke for 10 years. Yes, that is a good sentence. Very good. The hurricane caused the damage, right? The hurricane caused the damage. So the hurricane came, right? It did or caused the damage, right? And it's finished. The damage is still there, yes, but the hurricane, the action of causing the damage, that part is finished, right? It's in the past, it's gone, it's over. And yeah, it's interesting that there's an example here about hurricanes with all the hurricanes that are happening in the world right now, which is quite sad, really, to see all the damage that it's doing to all the people. So yeah, if you are in a country where something like that is happening, I hope you're doing fine. All right, let's carry on. So remember, first use is we use the past simple to describe a finished action in the past. It's not happening anymore. It's done. It's finished, right? It's a finished action in the past. We also use the past simple to say that one thing happened after another, right? One thing happened after another. So if you guys remember, last week we talked about a word called chrono, if somebody remembers. So chronological, right, or chronological. And very simply, chronological means what is the order of things that are happening, right? So what was first, second, third, fourth, fifth, in the correct order, right? So you're not going to say number 5 before number 1. You're not going to say number 4 before number 3, right? No, you have to say it correctly. You have to say number 1 first, number 2 second, number 3 third, right? So this is chronological order, right? And this is what we mean here. We're saying we use the past simple to say that one thing happened after another. So something happened and then this happened, right? And then this happened. So he went to a cafe. He went to a cafe, sat down and ordered a coffee. So it's very important to understand that this is the correct order, right? That he did these things. So first he went to a cafe. After he did this, then he sat down, and after he did that, then he ordered a coffee, right? So you have to say things in the correct way that you did them, right, when you use that. And because that's what we use the past simple for. It's one of the uses, right? So we use it to tell you what happened in the correct order. So yesterday, I went to the library. That means I went there first. This is the first thing that happened. I met a friend for lunch. This is the second thing that happened. And played tennis, right? So you should know very clearly that these are the things that happened in order, right? So if somebody asks you, hey, do you know what did, let's imagine this girl's name is Julie, right? So if somebody says, hey, did you know what Julie did yesterday? You said, yeah, I know that in the morning she went to the library, and then after the library she met a friend, and then she played tennis, right? So you should know the correct order of the things that she did. So I hope that is clear for you guys. Lucia, hi Lucia from Brazil, and I hope that I'm saying your name correctly. I think it's Lucia, but I'm not sure. Yeah, so thank you. All right, so some of you are saying yes, you understand, it's clear, very, very nice. So the last one is I woke up, took a shower, and came to school. Again, if you think about it, it means I did this first, second, and third. That means first thing I did was I woke up. The second thing that I did, I took a shower. And then the third thing that I did, I came to school, right? So that's pretty much it, right? So this is the end of the past simple, right? We haven't talked about the past continuous yet. And there's about, I think, there's about 20 minutes left. So I think that's enough time for us to make an exercise, maybe. So probably have enough time to do an exercise and wrap up today. I don't think we have enough time to go into this. Plus, I said that I'm going to explain to you guys the pronunciation. So let me just skip down real quick here. All right. So actually, there's one more thing that I do want to do with you guys also. So I'm going to explain the pronunciation rules here from Smrt, but I'm also going to share with you a small picture that has all the rules in a very small space, right? So it's a very common picture that you can find online if you search for this specific topic, and I see it all the time. And I actually use it in class, so it's pretty useful. So I'm going to share it with you guys, right? But let me first just, let's go over this. Yes, Rosa, you are correct. Rosa saying it's more or less like the past perfect. There must be an order. Yeah. Okay, so as you can see, there are three pronunciations for the ED sound, right? So decided, played, and stopped. So the sounds, very simply, when we explain them, the three sounds are a id sound. So sometimes people will write id like this when they're explaining it to people, right? It sounds like an id sound. And then there is just a normal D sound. And then there is a T, right? So an id, a D, and a T sound. And usually, or these are the three pronunciations that we have for ED. So decided, played, and stopped, right? So decided, did, you can hear a id at the end, right? Decided, played, right? The Y just sort of goes into the D immediately, right? There's no id. I'm not saying id with an I, right? That's the D sound. And then the last word is stopped, right? Stopped, right? So after the P, I immediately try to say a T, right? Stopped. And that's the T sound, right? So these three, and that is it. Ramon is saying, my dream is to speak English fluently, and this class is wonderful. Woohoo! That is awesome, Ramon. I'm glad that you are enjoying the class. That's all I want from this, right? If you guys are happy, I am happy. All right, so let's take a look at the first rule. It says the sound of ED depends on the last sound before the ED, right? So how do you know how am I going to pronounce the ED? You have to look at the sound of the last letter before it. So, for example, decided. I need to look here. I need to see what this is. Here, I need to look here. I have to see what that is. Same thing, I have to look here, right? So you need to look at the sound of the last letter before the ED. So, the last sound before ed in the word decided, like I guys told you, is a D, right? Look at the following verbs. What is the last sound of the word before ed? So I'm not going to waste too much time on this just so I don't waste your times today. But for example, I'm going to say the words and you guys try to hear them. I'll give you 2 seconds before I say what each sound is, and you can sort of know in your head if you are right or wrong, right? So I'm going to say the word, wait 2 seconds and tell you the sound. So the first one is walked. Walked. So that is a T sound. Hugged. 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 That is a D sound. Needed. Needed. Oh, Paulo's keeping up with me on the chat. He's answering before I say the answer. Very good. Needed, and that is an ID sound. Very good, Shifre. Loved, loved, loved. Loved is a D sound. Yes, very good. Good job, Hamid and Paulo again. Let's do 2 more. Wanted, wanted. So wanted is an id sound. Wanted, 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 right? It's an id sound, yes, very good. And let's try attached, 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 attached. So that is a T. Very good, Marina. Yes, that's a T sound. Here it says, if the last sound of the verb before ed is a T or a D, right, then the pronunciation of ed is id, right? So let's take a look. So we have an ed here. Before it, what is this word? Admit, right? So admit, right? So that's a T sound, yeah? So because it's a T sound, then I'm going to pronounce the ed, id, right? Decided, decided. Again, before the ed, what do I have? Decide. It's a D sound, right? So because it's a D sound, I will pronounce the ed also id, right? Now before, or actually, I'm just, you know what? I'm going to share with you the let me just first Let me get this, copy the link. All right, so I'm going to type it for you guys in the chat box, so you guys can get a copy of this picture, and I hope that it opens for you guys. So it should look like this, right? So if you guys can see this, or if you can open it, that's basically it, right? If you can't open the file, don't worry about it too much. This is a very common picture. Just just go to Google and write ED pronunciation, right? This is probably the first picture that you will find. And I like this picture because it puts everything very easily into 3 columns, and they're very easy to see, right? All in one shot, right? So it's a very useful picture. Save it until you sort of remember and learn this stuff. But yeah, it's pretty good. So this is very, very simply it, right? So the id sound are for words that have a T or a D at the end, right? A T or a D at the end. Now the T sound is for words that the last letter of the word is P, K, F, G, H, S, H, C, H, S, S, C, and then X, right? So let's try to see if that is true, right? So help, the last letter is a P, so helped, right? Yes, that is the pronunciation, right? The pronunciation is a T sound, so helped. Look, last letter is a K. That means, again, it's going to be a T pronunciation. So looked, sniffed, laughed, watched, kissed, danced, fixed, right? So I hope my pronunciation is clear and you guys can hear it. But that's it, right? So if the last letter of the word is any of these letters, then you know that it's a T pronunciation. And I think, who's asking? Agnes? Was it Agnes that was asking, or August? Somebody was asking about the pronunciation. So I hope this answers your question. And the last pronunciation we have for ED is just a D sound, right? So these are the letters that make you pronounce ED like a D, right? So L, call, called. N, clean, cleaned. Offer, offered. Damage, damaged. Love, loved. Use, used. Amazed, rubbed, and claimed, right? And that's it. So yeah. And then if you notice, there is, of course, a few things here at the end. So it says words that end in a vowel sound use the D pronunciation for ED, right? Words that end in a vowel sound, right? Use the pronunciation ED. So what do they mean by that? Let's check. So, sorry, excuse me. So for example, the word play, right? So let's try to hear what the end of the word play sounds right. Play. So what's the last thing that you hear when I say that word? Play. A, right? It's a vowel sound, right? It's an A sort of vowel sound. So played. That's why it becomes a D, right? Played. Free, 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 right? If you can hear it, it sounds like a E. It's a vowel. It's definitely a vowel, not a consonant, right? So again, it's a D sound. So freed, freed. Try, try. I, right? It's not a consonant, it's a vowel sound. So the pronunciation is going to be, again, D, tried. And they're all the same, right? So follow. I know it's a W, but what do you hear, right? The important is not how we write it. The important part is not how we write it, it's what does it sound like, right? So follow, followed. So it's going to be a D. Continue, you, continue, right? So again, D, continued. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I hope this makes it easy for you guys. And yeah, you can just look at this picture if you forget. And hopefully it'll be easy for you. Everybody, yes, you guys are saying yes. Everybody can open it and everybody's cool. All right, very good. And so yeah, that's pretty much it. So I guess I am going to give you guys an exercise. So let's see what do we have. So see, I had to find some external exercises because I knew that the time is not going to be enough today to do both, which is why I'm not giving you the exercise from Smrt, right? Because Smrt has the exercises mixed, so it's both continuous and past and simple. Sorry. So I'm going to give you this exercise that I made. And believe it or not, you guys, I'm going to share it with you. Oh yeah. All right, so here it is. And can you just confirm that it's opening for you guys? It should open because I checked. I made it. Oh, no. It's not going to open. Hold on. Let me change. It should not open now, but now it should. All right. Sorry, you guys. That was my fault. One more time. All right. The new link should work. Please give this one a try. And oh yes, it's working. I see all of you coming into the. See, this is all you guys up here. We have anonymous tiger, anonymous iguana, anonymous fox, anonymous grizzly. Ooh, capybara. I don't even know what animal that is. But yeah, I guess it's working and everybody's getting it. So great. All right, so I'm going to give you guys a few moments. Try to remember, if you want to type on this, you guys, you need to make a copy, right? So make your own copy so that you can start typing in. Don't forget that, please. So just from Google Docs, click on File and then click Make a Copy, and you can name it or just say OK, and it will open a new one like this where you can start to type in it, right? So please don't forget, make your own copy. Okay, I'm going to give you guys, I don't know, 3-4 minutes? 3 minutes. Should be enough for 9 questions. It's a long time. All you have to do, put the verbs into the correct form of the simple past. Agnes says, thanks for clearing this pronunciation issue. Fantastic. I'm very happy that it's clear for you, Agnes. That was my plan. All right. I'm going to get out of the picture for a few minutes, and you guys try to answer the questions, and I am going to come back. A 1, a 2, a whoosh. so we are back, and I've been watching the chat. All of you guys are doing fantastic, as usual. I am not surprised whatsoever. You guys, you make me feel like I don't know what I'm doing here. You guys are already doing great. Oh man. All right, Dashti says, I'm so late. Unfortunately, Dashti, yes you are. You are almost out of time. But don't worry, because you can always watch the video after it's done, right? Garima is asking, Karim, could you please tell me any website or app where we can practice English grammar? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll do that. All right, just stay till the end, and I'll just make a note here, and I'll try to give you a website, right? So yeah, just stay for a bit, Karim, and I'll tell you. All right, so let's just get to the answers so I can get you guys to get out of here, because I know you're getting sick of me now. So here we go. So the first one, last year I, and all of you, I cannot scroll because the answers are this long next to me in the chat, but all of you got it, right? So the correct answer should be I spent, right? Last year I spent my holiday in Ireland. Excuse me, sorry. It, and all of you again got this one. It was great, right? The past of the verb to be. It was great. I, and where is number 3 here? Because I saw. Okay, so yeah, so a lot of people are. Okay, so a lot of people wrote travel with one L, right? And that's okay. That's okay. Traveling with one L is fine, right? And some people wrote traveling with 2 L's. And that is also fine, right? So there's no problem whatsoever. So actually, traveling with the double L, that's the British spelling of the word. And traveling with one L is the American spelling of the word, right? So don't worry about that. If you guys wrote it this way or that way, it's still the same thing, right? It's absolutely fine. And oh yes, sorry, Shifter, you're right. I was, yes, I'm sorry, I forgot about that. I was traveling around by car. No, whoops. Sorry, you guys. I had a brain freeze there for a second. We're doing the what's it called? We're doing the past simple, not the continuous. So this should be ed, right? So that was my mistake. I was focused on the explanation, and I messed it up. But yeah, it's an ed, you guys, right? So I traveled around by car with 2 friends, and we visited lots of interesting places, right? So visited lots of interesting places. In the evenings, we usually went to a pub. In the evenings, we usually went to a pub. So very good again. All of you got that one right. One night we even, and yes, very good. Most of you, again, all of you got that right. So we learned. Well, one night we even learned some Irish dances. We were, right? We were. So most of you, again, got that right. Very good. We were very lucky with the weather. It not and rain, right? So it's clear that you need to make this into a negative sentence, right? So it did, and then not and rain, right? Remember, the verb stays the same in negative sentences because we are saying did, right? So just imagine that we put the past part in did, right? So the verb stays the same. Nothing happens to the verb. Number 8, but we saw some beautiful rainbows. And number 9, where, again, it's a question this time, right? So where, I'm going to need the auxiliary. Where did you spend, right? And again, because did is in the past, in the question form, there's no need to change the verb. It's just, it stays spent, right? And that's it. That's it. So yeah, all of you guys actually got this. So as usual, a high five. Good job, everyone. Very, very proud of you all. Very good. All right. So I think that's pretty much it. So I'm just gonna do the quote, the movie quote of the week, and I'll let you guys go. So one more time, just before I go, right? Don't forget, please, from now on, you or at least for the next foreseeable future, right? I'm going to be streaming my videos on Smrt English, right? So go to Smrt English on YouTube, and this is today's video, the one that you guys are watching right now, and this is where it is. Don't forget, Sean is back on Friday, which is fantastic, and even more fantastic, the legend, the one and the only, Mark is back also, right? So make sure that you guys are here for that. I'm actually very excited for that. I haven't seen Mark in some time now, and that would be nice. And of course, don't forget our newest streamer, Kent, which has been doing a great job so far. And so yeah, so just we're trying to push out some content for you guys here, and hopefully that will satisfy your needs. Don't forget, we have another channel, right, under Smrt. It's called 60-Second English, right? So 60-Second English, the idea of that channel is obviously not like here, right? So here we do, we sort of do, the videos are long, right? So it's an hour or an hour and a half, sometimes less, sometimes more. So this is another channel that's made by Smrt, and basically we try to give you little pieces of information in 60 seconds, right? That is related to English, right? So you can check us out over here. Don't forget my other channel, but I'm not going to be using that right now, right? Until more people start to realize or understand that this is where my channel should be. So yeah, so please go over there and subscribe to me, because remember, our target is to crush Sean's subscriber number, right? So Sean has about 400 and something subscribers now, which is really bugging me. So let's destroy Sean's subscribers, you guys. Yeah, so come on, go there and subscribe, please. And yeah, and if you like food and you like to eat, check me out on Food AF is the name of my cooking show, right? So I try as best as I can to put a video every week, but it's becoming very hard with all these things that I'm doing right now, right? So, but yeah, I try my best to have at least one video a week in the Food AF channel. Very handy in life. Yes, you are right, Shifri. Very good. Shifri is asking, what is AF? Well, AF is something that I cannot say on this channel, right? But you can definitely find out if you go to that channel. and yeah, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, so that's it. So movie quote of the week. And I'll let you guys get out of here. So this is the movie quote of the week. Remember, you guys, don't answer now, and don't answer in the chat, because after I close the chat, everything that you guys write in here goes away, right? So I can't really see it. So if you want to answer what movie this quote is from, then please answer in the video description down below, right? And I always read the answers, and then next week I can give you a shout out and say who were the people that answered. All right, so here we go. Movie quote of this week is, again, of course, one of my favorite movies, because I say that every single week, is this. All right, so I'm going to try to act it out, and remember, right, in the comment section down below, you guys try to write in the answers. Which movie is this from? All right, so here it goes. My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius, commander of the armies of the North, general of the Felix legions, and loyal servant to the true emperor, Marcus Aurelius, father to a murdered son, husband to a murdered wife, and I will have my vengeance in this life or the next. And yeah, that was an epic quote from a very epic movie, right? So, so that's it, you guys. I am pretty much done for this week. So thank you so much. Hold on, some people are asking questions. Oh yes, Garima, I'm so sorry. You guys are welcome. You guys are welcome. Everybody's saying thank you. You are so welcome. There's no need to say thank you. I am very happy to be here, right? I really enjoy this every Wednesday. So no problems. It's my pleasure, right? Thank you for your time. All right, so Garima's asking about a website that you guys can go and practice. So I'm just going to give you one pretty quick. I like this website myself. I use it a lot, even in class sometimes. And Judith, I will answer your question also. All right, so this is the website, so make sure that you guys write it down. It's called Ego, right? So it's right up there, ego4u, right? .com. And if you can't see that, I'll write it here. So the website is ego4u.com. All right, and that's it. If you guys just want to do extra practice or things like that, you can go and check it out over there. All right, so ego4u.com, ego4u.com. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. Judith is asking, I think Judith was asking me what are my new class times or anything. I don't have any new class times, Judith. The only difference is that I'm just streaming. My stream is going to be on, where is it? It's going to be on Smrt English. That's it. That's the only difference. I'm still every Wednesday at the same time that I'm on, right? So I didn't change anything. The only thing that is different is where to watch me on YouTube. So usually you used to go to Smrt English with Karim, right? But because a lot of people have been having a hard time finding that, so just to make things easier for now, you're gonna find me now on Smrt English, right? So just don't go to Smrt English with Karim. You can still go there because I'm gonna put some videos, you know, like my Vancouver out and about videos and my phrases with Karim videos. So I'm still gonna put those videos on my channel. So go to my channel if you want to see those videos. But my Wednesday class is going to be on Smrt English, and that's it, right? So just subscribe to Smrt English too, and you should get the notifications. Mark, yes, Mark is going to be here. Sean and Kent. I'm not sure about Sean because Sean seems to be doing pretty well with no videos on his channel. But yes, Kent is also going to be here. I cannot say for Sean because I honestly don't know, right? I'm not 100% sure. But I would guess, I don't know, I'm not really sure. But you can just check, right? You can come to the Smrt and you can check because you can see Sean is here on the side, 60-second is on the side. If you go down, all of us are here, right? So this is the main channel where you can go to all of our channels from, right? So always go to Smrt English first. Anybody else asking? I didn't miss any questions. No, didn't miss any questions. All right, so I think I've answered everybody's questions. Everybody seems to be okay. So let me just, so that's it, you guys, for this week. As usual, thank you so much for coming and giving me your precious time and spending this hour and a half with me. I have a lot of fun, and I really appreciate all of you guys coming here. So that's it. Just please don't forget, subscribe to our channels, subscribe to my food channel. And I will see you guys next Wednesday, right? So until I see you, oh man, you guys are making me laugh. Whoa, Jundi just literally came into the channel right now. Sorry, Jundi, but I'm saying bye. But you can watch the video after it's done. But thank you for your intention, right? Thank you for at least showing up. Karim is in a movie. Oh, well, if you guys have any good roles that I might consider, I don't mind doing a little bit of acting. No problems with that. But yeah, so that's it, right? So I'll head off, you guys, now. So until I see you next Wednesday, good morning, good evening, and good night, wherever you are in the world. And a 1 and a 2 and